Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. As you can see from the silly hats, Christmas is coming, but don't worry, climbing isn't stopping. So, Terry, happy Christmas.
It's in 10 days.
It is in 10 days. It's coming soon, though. And I just want to point out that you are wearing your own Christmas hat. This is an EpicTV came out of the box.
Yeah.
You own yours.
Well, why not be festive when you can?
Santa's coming to town!
Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him.
And, I like costumes and outfits, and like every season has outfits.
I'm just jealous because you've got a better hat than me. This is what it comes down to. But we'll move on because you've got some 9B action.
Yeah, some good news from Spain. Spanish climber Jonathan Flor climbed Planta De Shiva 9B. He tried it for about 2 months before sending it. On Instagram, he comments that this is his second 9B and the hardest route he's ever done. The route was first sent by Adam Ondra in 2011, and it was the first 9B that saw female ascent by Angie Eiter in 2017. Good news for our 9B counter, because it's still not seeing a winner, or, well, actually Alex with 3 points.
Yeah, I think he's nailed it in a moment. We'll chat more about that in the middle of the show. Planta De Shiva, this is one of those routes that just seems to be done a lot in that big cave, right?
It is overhanging. It's not really a cave.
Okay.
Guess how many climbers have done it?
I don't.
It's an
6.
even number.
Seriously?
Not bad.
I'm going to bet on the horses because I'm lucky today. We've got an 8C roundup, which I love to do because it's always just to see so many hard boulders getting crushed. 8A.nu have reported that Matt Fultz, who is having an incredible year, has climbed the 8C Polaris in Reynolds Creek. In 2020 alone, Matt has now done 10 8C or 8C plus climbs. Also on 8A.nu, Nathan Mitchell has climbed the Big Island, an 8C in Fontainebleau. He's tried it on and off for a while now, so it's great to see him tick this classic. So congratulations, 8C plus roundup, awesome to see. And of course, it is sending temps at the moment. Winter's coming, it's getting colder, and Font especially is coming into its own.
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in sending?
No, it's freezing.
How much stickier do you stick to a rock during sending temps?
I don't. I go to the gym where it's warm.
But we can't go to the gyms, they're all shut. This is our dilemma at the moment. If you live in a mountain town and it's snowing, there ain't a lot to do in the evening.
Anyway, let's go on to the 9A roundup. Giorgio Tomatis, at the age of 17, climbed Cobra Reale, an 8C+/9A in Italy. Philip Gassner has done his second 9A, Marsupilami, and it took him 10 sessions. In other 9A news, as reported on UKC Climbing, 16-year-old Josh Ibbotson climbed Rainshadow 9A at Malin Cove. Earlier that week, 15-year-old Toby Roberts sticked that line. And actually, on that day, Josh's dad, at age 45, climbed his first 8C, Bat Route. On the day Josh sent the route, the conditions weren't ideal. On the walk in, it was raining, but fortunately, the crux stayed dry. But the top section had a couple of wet holes, but he still sent it. We caught up with Josh to hear all about his ascent.
I'm super excited to have done Rainshadow, especially because it's so late in the season, because it was just several times where we thought it was going to be totally written off for the year because of wet weather and bad conditions, but we managed to stick with it and got it done, which I'm super psyched about. Yeah, it feels like my first 9A has been quite a while coming because I got really close to Eravea in 2018. I was hoping to get back on it last spring, but obviously that wasn't possible because of COVID. But yeah, that makes it even better to have got something done in 2020. The plan now is to get back into loads of training because I haven't really trained in 5 or 6 months just because I've been climbing so much outside. But also I'm quite looking forward to trying out a bit more grip bouldering and maybe some grip trad as well because I've not really done much of that in the past. But then looking into next spring, hopefully we'll be able to go climbing again with all our friends. So I'm really looking forward to just getting out on loads more Yorkshire limestone sport routes.
What's up with all these kids climbing 9As?
I know, right? Like, this is my exact problem. Now you have to deal with it. You have to understand how hard it is to be magnanimous in their victory.
No, it's kind of annoying.
I know.
Like, actually.
Thank you.
I mean, good job and all.
Yeah, I mean, amazing achievement. What athletes, blah, blah, blah. But come on. Anyway, congratulations, guys. And do remember, we have got an interview with... Toby. Yes, I was about to say Josh. They're with Toby coming soon at Climbing Daily, all about his ascent of Rainshadow. Right, my turn now, I think. Yes. And it's winter. Winter is here. And for those of you who are driven or insane enough, Scottish winter is here. Dave McLeod and Ian Small have climbed a new 3-pitch route on Ben Nevis, as reported by UKC. They've called the route Nevermore, and it's graded 8-8. Despite being near the popular 510 gully, this line has never been climbed in summer or winter. It's a mixed route with full-body, thrutchy climbing required. With good conditions coming in early this year, we have a feeling that this season we could see some special sends in Scotland. So the Scottish rumour mill is going crazy. Apparently conditions are good over there at the moment, so if you want to suffer, then this could be the season for you.
Right. On to some more bouldering news from the US. Friends, training buddies, and crushers Natalia Grossman and Brooke Raboutou are looking on form. Both having done the 8A boulder Prospectors. Both climbers this year have sent more than 30 8A boulders or harder. Right, so they sent this boulder and then went for a training session apparently, cause why not? They weren't tired enough.
I don't know, pro athletes say. What can you say? Now, the IFSC seems to never be out of the news at the moment, and we've had another big week. The IFSC were being sued by the Japanese Climbing Federation. However, this week, the appeals have been dismissed in their entirety by the Court Arbitration for Sport. The case had centered around the issue of the Japanese wanting to have a pool of athletes to choose from for their last 2 Olympic allocation places. The IFSC disagreed with this, and essentially Japan had already named all of their Olympic qualifiers: Tomoe Narasaki, Akio Noguchi, Kai Harada, and Miho Nanaka. Moving forward, the athlete's well-being remains the priority for all parties involved, although the IFSC is clearly a little irritated by this drawn-out battle. In other news, the 2020 Asian Games have been cancelled, which means Olympic places are allotted by the Olympic qualification system based on the results from the World Champs last year. This means that Yongwon Chon and Cheon So have been awarded places. So quite a lot to unpack there, and it is a complicated issue, but everything's been resolved now. So the Japanese athletes, they're confirmed for those places. Those 4 athletes are in for the Olympics. So it's nice to see that one sort of put to bed so everyone can move on. Sad to see the Asian Games go, but we have still got some Olympic qualifier sort of competitions coming up, which hopefully aren't going to be cancelled.
Well, it's this week, isn't it?
It's this week, yeah, we never know.
So it's like South Africa, so it's like African Championships, Continental.
And the
Oceania?
Australia. So
Australia and New Zealand.
Sorry about the accent. But yeah, that's taking place. So let's hope that they continue, they don't get cancelled, and we see some climbing action.
Nice. 9B counter time.
We've got some action on the 9B counter. 9B action on the 9B counter, which makes a change. And Jonathan Floor, he gets another point.
And why another? Is it his second one this year?
Second one this year, according to this
Ooh, jobby. Okay. But who's winning? Alex.
Good question. Who is winning? I think it's
Alex.
AM, old Alex Magos, he's winning at the moment with 3.
Athletes, if you're watching, you have other 2 weeks to pass Alex Magos. And who knows, it might be like Laura.
True. Hurry up, guys. Happy Christmas, Hugo.
Happy Christmas, Matt. Happy Christmas, Teresa.
Shouldn't we be politically correct and say Merry Holidays?
Feliz Navidad.
Or what is it?
We could do. We could do if you want to be
Navidad.
That. I've got something to ask you, right? You know how like shows have a sort of like catchy thing? We're going to call this the content couch. I think it needs alliteration.
The Content King.
Content King, I like this, yeah. I think we need a jingle that comes up for next year when you enter.
Okay, I'll write one. I'll think about one and I'll get back to you.
Awesome.
Right, medias. But another very strong week. we've got first up. We've got Trevor Ponting. Have you heard of Trevor Ponting?
Yes.
He's a bit of a legendary snowboarder, skater from New Zealand who has brain cancer, and in his brain cancer, he's found climbing. Here's a little clip of this documentary.
I'm Trev Ponting. I'm a sponsored skater and snowboarder. So it's been living in Japan over the last 20 years, traveling back-to-back seasons between Japan and New Zealand. I started climbing about 13 years ago when I met my wife. Been very passionate about climbing ever since. Recently, I diagnosed with brain cancer, and I've been learning to live my life after brain cancer and to relearn some of the things that I've been passionate about and talented at, climbing, skateboarding, snowboarding. And I'm starting to get my life back. Having good days at the crag and getting stronger. Still returning back and forth to hospital for more treatments and more tests to keep an eye on my tumour.
So he's in remission. So it's all right. You guys are smiling as if you didn't know what I was going to say, and then I dropped the brain cancer bomb.
I just felt bad about not knowing who he was, and then you said like, "Oh, by the way." But
well,
he's
to be
all
fair,
right.
to be totally honest, I didn't really know him so well, but he is a massive fan of climbing daily.
Wow.
Ooh.
And he's a massive fan of climbing, and he's a very good climber, but the brain cancer obviously put him into hospital for a while.
Right.
So he hasn't really been able to do anything. But what the film is about him like finding something other than skateboarding and snowboarding, which gives him the same thrill, but isn't as dangerous. And that was climbing that he found. And he's a bit of a legend. Anyway, it's coming up. It was out yesterday on Tuesday. It's on our main EpicTV YouTube channel. It's a lovely film, very moving, beautiful, and it's in all in Japan. So it's climbing in Japan. And it shows how amazing the climbing in Japan is. So please go and watch it because it's good. Next up, we've got another film this Friday coming out with Jonathan Siegrist, the third part of our 3-part series that we're doing with him this year. Here's a little clip.
In the beginning of the year, I was training and I was spending a lot of time trying this route at the Clear Lake Cave that ended up being 100 proof. And that was largely in preparation for this trip we had to Italy, but got to Italy, you know, the whole COVID thing kind of started to unravel, and we turned around pretty quickly. Sadly, that trip ended really short. So back here in Vegas, it started to become obvious that I was going to be stuck in one place. Social interaction of any kind was out of the question. But I still had a lot of energy and motivation from all the training, and I felt really fit, and I needed to kind of put that energy somewhere. So I really started to think that to make a positive impact and to assuredly be alone was to basically look for new routes and potentially new areas to develop. That's how I spent all of my energy for months, and reviving old projects and then doing a lot of bolting. Even if it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do in that moment, it felt like it was a really positive way to use my energy and to use that time.
So that's Jonathan climbing 9A+/B, New World. And that is the third part of our series. Hopefully we're going to be doing some more with him next year. But Jonathan, if you're watching, it's been an honor. Long may it continue.
I always think Jonathan Siegrist's grade is 9A+/B. You know what I mean? Like it seems like that's the one he sort of nails all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't do anything easier or harder. It's just...
Yeah, and he's also just totally in the middle. He's like, it could be one, it could be another. It doesn't matter.
But a lot of these that he's putting up at the moment are first ascent. So it just takes one more person to come along, repeat it, say it's a 9C, and we're fine.
There we go. Jonathan, find someone who doesn't sandbag stuff.
Exactly.
You'll be fine. Cheers, Hugo. Awesome.
Bye-bye. Have a great week.
You too.
Take it easy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you will.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Always great to get the content catch-up from, that could be good, content catch-up from Hugo. And it does remind me of how many good films we've had this year. And you started putting some stuff on Instagram, sort of looking at some of our favourite films throughout the year. Hopefully people can vote on them. So do head over to our Instagram account if you want to find out more and vote for your favourite episodes throughout the year. Okay, shop stuff. Now we are really close to Christmas and I still have no presents.
Are you serious?
I haven't bought any.
Why not?
I haven't done it at all.
Just go shopping.
I know, but it's just tricky. But anyway, if you guys are in the same position as me and you've totally messed this up, don't despair. Head over to the EpicTV Shop. There's 4 collection pages worth of stuff. There's an article up so you can find out Christmas gift ideas. We've done shows about it. Teresa, have you got a particular favourite?
I looked through the article and there is the Gimme Craft book that's pretty nice and green and flashy. I don't know, it's one of those books that I've seen a lot around in gyms and people that are got their training game on have it. So
it's a bit of a Bible.
I feel I need it for next year. So thanks, Matt.
Right, I will buy you that. For me, my favourite is those Top Trumps from Font. So if you're into Top Trumps and Font, this is the perfect present. It's like a card game. It's kind of cool. I've seen nothing like it before. And it's pretty good value. So grab that for a stocking filler. Comment of the week.
Ooh, singing. Did we decide on a song?
We did, and I've immediately forgotten
Silent
it.
Night.
So, right, okay. Comment of the week.
Does it sound weird?
Hugo was just cringing in the corner there. What's wrong with my singing? He doesn't like it.
I think it's my background singing that didn't really work.
Look, at least I'm committing to the singing here, all right? I mean, come on, I'm trying. Have you got one?
I do. Do you?
I've got one. Climbing Easy says, good morning, Epic TV news show, my favourite morning news. I love this for 2 reasons. Whenever I read a comment, I'd imagine the person writing it doing the thing they're writing, right?
Right.
So I'd imagine that once a week, Climbing Easy logs on and genuinely believes that this is the news from the week. Nothing else exists apart from climbing. And I think for that reason alone, Climbing Easy, we should make this a daily news show. Just to keep Climbing Easy updated.
Oh, sure. You can do that. But I mean, it's a nice positive news show. When you turn on the actual news, it's like...
It's pretty depressing, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm glad we don't have to report on depressing things every week. Anyway, my comment is from Karin Climbs, CCC. Anyway, he says, it's always 12 o'clock somewhere. Wine, beer, spirit, you. Spirit, you? Jew.
Well, we don't know exactly what he's saying at the end of that, but what he's saying is we should just drink.
No, he's saying it's always the right time to celebrate.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And because it's Christmas, we can do mulled wine and no one judges you for it because all the alcohol...
That?
Hot wine, like Vin Chaud.
Vin chaud.
Oui.
Vino caldo.
Do you not have Vin Chaud in Switzerland?
Yeah, we do.
Well, there you go. Just put
right,
it in a thing. In my house, we put it in a saucepan, right? And then we maybe add an extra clove and then just drink lots of
Garlic
it.
clove.
No, like clove, like cinnamon clove thing. I don't know what it's called.
Right.
The stick thing. Anyway, happy Christmas, everyone. Next week, of course. We'll be back. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to everything. Goodbye.